Let's talk about how I'm healing my elbow tendonitis. I say healing elbow tendonitis because that's what I'm doing. I got it. I got it bad. Bad, so bad. I've got elbow tendonitis, medial epicondylitis. Yeah, so look, it's not a very fun topic. Elbow tendonitis sucks. And I say healing because that's what I'm doing. I've had this before. I have successfully come out the other side. I have recovered from it. Uh, but Pat, why do you have it again? Why would you suffer from this injury again? Haven't you learned your lesson? Aren't you? Maybe you're not. Maybe you're. Maybe you're just as dumb as you look. And maybe I am, right? Yeah. So yes, I've got golfer's elbow again. So that's medial epicondylitis. That's the inside, right? Tennis elbow. The simple ways to describe them. Tennis elbow is outside. Golfer's elbow is inside. Believe me, you know if you've had this. I know a lot of people who subscribe have asked me to do a video on this because I've talked about having this before. It's a fairly common training injury. It's a really annoying one. So I'm gonna give you the things that I've done before that have actually helped me, and that I'm doing again to hopefully get out of this as soon as possible and get back to training normally once again. And let me just say a few disclaimers. First off, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not saying if you've got elbow tendonitis, you should go do this. I'm saying this is what I've done. This is what professionals gave me that actually worked. Like anybody else who has ever had this sort of injury, you tend to like try everything, right? It's like this. If you've never had elbow tendonitis, it's really bad and really annoying. Like it's totally crippling. I mean, I've had it so bad before to the point where like you can't even open the fridge without excruciating pain. That's how bad it is. So for somebody who loves training and working out, it's really frustrating because almost everything hurts, right? Pull-ups, presses, a lot of different push-ups, hanging leg raises, hangs, and anything with gripping, swings. So when I first had elbow tendonitis really bad, pretty much all my favorite exercises were just taken away from me. It was super depressing. So for months, I just couldn't do swings, pull-ups, presses. I was really restricted in what I was able to do trading wise. Now that forced me to be creative and fill some gaps. So long term, I think it was actually not the worst thing in the world, but it was really frustrating. And I also say months. I also say months because I'm not here to give you this one weird trick that's going to cure your elbow tendonitis. I don't have that. All I have are just a few simple uh, pieces of advice that were given to me that over the course of many months, honestly, I think the first time for me, it was like a 6 to 8 month thing, allowed the issue to sufficiently heal that I could get back to training with no problems whatsoever. So I have completely come out the other side of this before. Unfortunately, it's back again many, many years later. It's been many years since I've dealt with this actually. So before I get into the advice of what I'm doing now to heal this, I should talk about, well, why did this come back? Why am I here again? Right. And I think the answer is pretty simple. It was just a little bit too much again, a little bit too much. And it wasn't just lifting, by the way. As many of you know, I'm something of a musician myself. And I've recently significantly ramped up my guitar playing because we're coming up to the gigging season again. There's just a lot of material I have to learn. I already play a lot of guitar as is, but I've really ramped it up um, these past several weeks. And elbow tendonitis is very common among guitar players and various musicians. Why? Just because mechanically it's just a lot, and the muscles get really tight, and it starts pulling on the tendon. Um, and the thing about this issue, elbow tendonitis, is it's kind of like a creeping thing. It can go from seeming like it's not an issue at all to being completely crippling in a very short amount of time. And this has been the case for me in um, both with my dealing with it right now and what happened before. Is it sort of crept up a tiny bit, and I would notice it feels a little unpleasant, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But then I kept pushing it, and then it just exploded, right? It just became absolutely awful. So don't be an idiot like I am. If you feel it coming on even just a little bit, because this tends to be a chronic thing, you need to back off right away. Because I think I can identify both times fairly recently, and even looking back years when I first dealt with this, that one session that one session where I was like, yeah, I feel it a little bit, but I think I can keep going, right? And then after that, everything just exploded. So don't be an idiot like me. Be prudent. And I think I generally am very prudent in my own training, but sometimes you think you can get away with something and then you learn the hard way that you should have just backed off. So no, for me, I sort of simultaneously increased a lot of my guitar playing and simultaneously increased a lot of the volume in my training. And I felt it coming on just a little bit. I thought I could keep pushing it. And then things got really annoying. So here we are. And now I've had to back off on a lot of the training I was doing. But I'm still. Don't worry, I'm fine. I've got plenty of other exercises that I can do and have been doing. You're going to see my quads explode in the next couple of months. You count on it. All right, so I want to keep this video relatively short. Nothing I'm about to say here is magical. You're not going to find any super weird trick that you probably wouldn't find from a decent physical therapist, because that's who helped me deal with these issues. I'm just saying from an honest perspective, as a guy who's got nothing to sell you, these were the things that helped me before, and that I'm doing again now, and that I've already begun to experience relief from. Not healing yet. We're not quite there. Again, realistically, this issue can last months. I'm sorry, guys. It just can. And you just have to be realistic about that and be patient. All right. So we're going to talk about massage gun. Let me give you never mind. We'll go step by step. All right. So here's the first one. This is the biggest one. I cannot emphasize this enough. This was something that stupid Pat had to learn over and over again. And in fact, the first time I really dealt with elbow tendonitis, it probably would have been a lot less severe if I would have just followed this advice. And that is to stop pissing your elbow off. If you've got this issue, you have to stop doing things that hurt. For me, I just had a really hard time of giving up the exercises I loved. I still wanted to do my pull-ups and kettlebell swings, but truth is, all that gripping really shot down into my elbow and kept aggravating it, making it really mad. And if you're doing that, you're just not going to heal, or you're not going to heal anywhere near as quickly as you otherwise would. You have to rest. If something hurts, stop doing it. If that means you have to modify your training program, do it. If that means you have to switch training programs, do it. You need to let this heal. Plus, you don't want to make it worse. Yeah, so just stop. Just knock it off. And this could be, I get it. It's a really difficult thing, especially, like I was, like, towards the tail end of a program, and I was loving it and feeling it. And then this happened, and I've had to shift gears, and that's not an easy thing to do. Especially if you were loving the program and feel like it was working really well for you. That's kind of a bummer, but thus is life, and you have to take care of yourself, because long term, this is the right thing to do. So whatever hurts, don't do it. And don't do it for as long as it hurts. It's as simple as that. Okay. Find things that don't hurt. This doesn't mean you don't exercise. You can obviously still do lots of stuff in terms of physical activity, but lots of stuff that you were doing might not be on the table anymore. So for me, things that really just make my elbow mad, or really all my favorite kettlebell exercises, right? Swings, snatches, cleans, even pressing, the way that the kettlebell sits on the palm just kind of shoots right down in that part of the elbow. So pressing is even out for me. Pull-ups, rows. It's super bummer, but that's okay, because that stuff will be there once I'm healed. It was there before. It's not the end of the world. There's still lots of other stuff I'm going to be doing. Lots of sprints, lots of squats, lots of mobility stuff. And there are certain exercises, pushing and pulling, that I can do from certain angles that don't hurt. So you just have to kind of experiment around, find what you can do, stay active, but do not do anything that hurts. Okay. Second, massage. This was probably the biggest thing for me. Now let me talk about a few things that are controversial, that some professionals recommend, others don't, that were sort of hit or miss for me. Heat and ice. I'm not going to talk about that here, because it was just something that I don't think made a huge difference for me, but I know for other people it does make a big difference. I know some people like to just take, a block of ice and just roll it around for for however long until that area gets numb, usually between 5 to 15 minutes. And that seems to help a lot of people. I would recommend, sure, try it. Can't hurt to try it. If it helps you, great. I'll just say for me, it didn't seem to do a whole lot. But what did is massage. So I'll just give you a few basic things that I have found really useful. Massage gun. Because here's the deal. If you're doing the massage, and by the way, when you're massaging for golfer's elbow, what I was advised is you got to kind of do two things. You got to try and massage all just the entire forearm, all that tightness, the muscle belly, just get in there, get a real, you can use your thumb and just go and go and go. If you find a knotty, ropey area, just work it until you feel it sort of release. This will usually take a while. Your thumb will definitely get sore. Try not to injure your thumb, but you just got to work it wherever you feel those ropey, nasty spots. You just got to get in there because, so much of what is causing the issue here is tightness up here, right? Kind of pulling at the tendon. So you gotta, and this makes sense for guitar, right? Because a guitar, I'm kind of constantly in this position and all this is getting so tight. So you got to go get in there and work it out and break it up. I usually spend at least 5, but typically 15 minutes massaging. But here's the deal. It's a lot easier with a massage gun. So you can spare your thumb, just get a massage gun, work up and down. Again, once you find those ropey areas, just, there's nothing crazy, but don't go too hard, right? You don't need to like, shove it in with all the force in the world. Just kind of just a light pressure tends to be enough and find the right setting. So that's number one, just working all up and down the forearm. It can't hurt to work upstream and downstream as well. Just get it loosened up. And then you got to work right on the elbow directly. Now, here's a trick that I was taught. Sometimes it's a little hard if you have this kind of circular nozzle for the massage gun. Some have more pointy nozzles, which can be a little bit helpful. But if you have the circular, there's not a lot of room there. So what I was advised is to come in at an angle and do what's called a cross fiber massage. So the fibers are kind of, if you're watching, they're kind of running this way. You want to massage cross fiber, so up and down, perpendicular, right? And then I'll turn the massage gun on so if you guys can hear the buzzing. That's the massage gun, right? Just take it, get it right in there. You know where that spot is. You should feel it. Shouldn't be excruciating, and just work that cross fiber massage up and down and up and down. You can do circles. That's fine too. And this is like the game changer for me, especially the massage gun, because truth be told, boy, does your thumb get tired after a while. Another technique is just grab right at that hot spot and kind of work that massage as you flex your wrist up and down. This kind of flossing technique is a really good way to a lot of what you're doing is just breaking up that scar tissue. Just breaking up that scar tissue back and forth and back and forth. And then, ideally, you kind of go till you feel a bit of relief, till it feels a little bit better. I'm usually like 5 to 15 minutes every single day, sometimes multiple times per day. That's what I was advised. That is what has worked really well for me. So those are the two biggest things, guys. If you take nothing away from this short video, those are the two biggest things: rest and massage. Rest and massage. If I were to kind of summarize what ultimately did it for me, it's those two things. But let me offer two other things that I think were helpful. K-tape, kinesiology tape. Now, I'm not going to show you how to do this here. I don't have it on right now. I showered last night. I haven't put it on yet. But this can help take some of the burden off the elbow. If you just Google or YouTube K-tape, John Gibbons, I think is the guy. John Gibbons, golfer's elbow. I'll put a link in the comments after. He'll show you how to apply the tape. Do it. I think it does help. So that's one other quick one I'll mention. And then the other one is this, and that's an overall healthy lifestyle. One of my old physical therapist friends would always say, "Hey, Pat, everything's connected. Everything matters." And I will notice that if I'm really stressed or if I eat a bunch of crap, especially if I would drink alcohol, it would flare up. The tendonitis would go crazy. It'd be so much so much more awful. But then, just eating healthy, getting good sleep, getting sunshine seemed to just help overall. My diet affected my elbow, right? If my diet was poor, my elbow hurt worse. If my diet was better, it just seemed like things were healing more quickly. And obviously, I think there's something to that. I'm not going to say that you're just going to totally cure your elbow tendonitis just by eating healthy. But I do think everything is connected and everything matters. I think getting general stress under control, having a healthy diet, getting outside, walking, all of that will help facilitate the healing process. So you want kind of all those pieces of the puzzle together. So to summarize, biggest thing, rest, adjust, modify, or switch your program as needed, because boy, you do not want to be dealing with this longer than you have to. Number 2 is you got to work the massage, loosen up upstream, downstream, get into that muscle belly, and then of course spend time on the actual hot spot itself. You can do flossing, do the cross fiber massage. I'm doing a lot of that right now. And again, like I said, I already feel a lot better. I know I've still got however long to go. And that's the thing. Like, don't I have to emphasize, you wait until you know you are ready to go. Do not jump the gun, because you might feel like, oh, I'm pretty much there. I bet I can go do that set of weighted pull-ups. And then you just set yourself way back again. Be prudent, give yourself a little bit extra time, probably more than you think you need, and then ease back into things. Again, don't make the mistakes I did. K-tape, look up how to tape for golfer's elbow, and then just take care of yourself in general healthy diet. Get exercise, whatever exercise you can do without pain, get a good night's sleep, that sort of thing. So yeah, sorry guys, no magic tricks, but this is what has worked for me in the past. This is what I'm doing again, and already feeling better because of it. And I hope it serves you. And I hope you use it. If you're dealing with this, I'm very sorry to hear that, or any injuries suck, right? But hey, this is life. Nothing is perfectly safe. We just be as prudent as we can. And when something, comes up, we try to deal with it intelligently. We try to help each other out. So just trying to help you out, and I hope that, uh, if you find something here that's useful, great. Obviously, talk to a real medical professional, not a guy that looks like this on the internet. Why would you ever do that? But if you do find these videos helpful, I would appreciate it. Please subscribe. Please comment. Let me know. I'd like to hear. Have you dealt with elbow tendonitis? Was it golfers? Was it tennis elbow? What did you find helped you? Please feel free to share your experience in the comments below. I would love to hear about it. I'm sure it would help other people as well. Take care.